My name is Steve Durst. I'm a director here at SMG Local Spectrum. So thanks for having me, and love to talk a little bit about our weather-triggered demand generation solution. Head over to the next slide. So real-time weather events triggered is what we did for one of our energy supplier clients. And essentially what this is seeking those geographic areas for our clients where consumers are experiencing weather events. Those weather events, in this case, were snowstorms, low temperatures, and in some cases even natural disasters like hurricanes. And what we did was sought out those people that are residing in those geos and then delivering a message to them in an ad that focuses on weather safety tips, as well as offering solutions that this client could bring to them in the event of, let's say, a power outage, or let's say in the case of cold weather, providing heat to their home. And moving on to the next slide. So why did we do this strategy? So the reason we did this is because we knew that there was an inherent inefficiency in only targeting those consumers that are experiencing those events rather than, let's say, all of their consumer base, and to do it in real time. So weather is inherently unpredictable, so what we did was find some solution that we know that, let's say, a snowstorm is approaching, let's push that messaging out there. Similar situation for temperatures dipping below a certain level. And really online display was the key area that we did this in. And it's unique as compared to traditional forms in that lead time for traditional media doesn't really allow you to do something like this. So leveraging the power of online media and the geo-targeting capabilities, we really came to a solution that was a winner. So connecting the audience to this client's services was really what we were after. And we did that by looking at all of the geos that this client services and matching that up to certain areas, and coming to kind of like a joint strategy where we made sure that we're only servicing or only serving our ad in those areas, both when these events are occurring and in those areas that the client serves. So moving on, what we did to actually implement this was to work with our friends over at the Weather Channel and their weather.com and WeatherBug properties, and to find certain triggers that would indicate that our ad in only certain geos should show. So temperatures below a certain threshold, approaching snowstorms where the prediction was at a certain level of snow, and then situations where there may have been an unfortunate natural disaster. And one of the key things we wanted to make sure that we did here was make sure that we had the ad on every screen. So desktop, mobile, and tablet, to make sure we're covering the gamut of how people consume this content out in the online ecosystem. And of course, the messaging, like I mentioned before, focused on helpful tips, as well as clicking through the ad, options on how to initiate some of these the energy delivery in those situations where a person may have been affected. And on the next slide, what we actually found is that because of that greater efficiency and the better targeting for these ads in those geos, the click-through rate was much higher than we had experienced in the past, and certainly above the channel averages. And one of the things that we actually found anecdotally and kind of subjectively from our client is that their services serve a particular area of their community, and those people that man those service centers live in those communities. So they took a lot of pride in how they service the community from like a helpful service standpoint, not so much solely from an ROAS standpoint.
What are some other types of businesses that the solution would work for?
Well, that's a great question. So this isn't, solely for those clients that are, I'd say helpful to consumers in a certain situation, like a weather event. But you could also think about this in terms of clients that have seasonality that revolves around the calendar. So you might think potentially some clients that are in, let's say, appliances or hardware or retail in general. You might want to trigger ads that occur, let's say, snow blowers for a snowstorm, or even just as temperatures warm up, start triggering my lawnmowers, and then when it dips back down, maybe leaf blowers, things like that. But I could also see applications for other advertisers in other situations where perhaps there's cyclic type of activity in their consumers' purchasing behavior, like let's say around paychecks for the 1st of the month and the 15th of the month. You may want to automatically trigger based on certain days or certain days of the week.
If there's low conversion rates on display, how can you prove the benefit of this strategy?
Well, yeah, that's an interesting one, actually. So, online display certainly works well for awareness, but if you're a direct response advertiser, I think a lot of people have trouble connecting that dot. And what I'd say is take a look at options for attribution and connecting that to your other forms of online media. So the thought might be is use an analytics package, like let's say Google Analytics, Omniture, or potentially other providers that offer this. But look for those anonymous cookie data that shows you that let's say a user clicked on a display ad and a week later clicked on a keyword in paid search, and from that they made a purchase, or let's say they submitted a lead request. Then you can start to play around with how you value the display advertising spend against, let's say, other forms, and what that contribution was in, you could say, the user's path or journey.